What's up, family? This is your brother Jared. Welcome to the Mitchell Experience. And today we're going to do the Everyman review of the Treblab X5s. Let's see if these things actually live up to the hype as we put them through their paces, and I'll give you my approach from a person who spent his own money. Let's go. So in my search to find my set of the perfect true wireless earbuds, I gotta admit Treblab just kind of came out of nowhere and I tried to ignore them. They showed up on my Instagram feed with all of their ads. They showed up on my Facebook timelines. It was almost as though they were following me for some reason. But when I first found out about Treblab, they were selling the Z2s and the X2s. And the X2s just looked silly to me. As did these X5s when I first saw them. So, I did what every average consumer does, and I started looking up some reviews, and I looked up on Reddit, and I looked up on YouTube, and I wanted to see what the consensus was. And the consensus that I got in general was they sound good, but connectivity is a problem. And that to me immediately, took them out of the running, because connectivity is kind of a big deal, For a set of earbuds to continually drop out is not going to be something that I'm willing to live with, and I wasn't willing to spend 80 bucks at the time to do it. But fortunately for me, Amazon put these bad boys on sale at 20% off, and they've recently dropped the price even less than what I paid for them. I got these at 80 bucks with a 20% off coupon, which put them at $64. And when I checked on Amazon yesterday, February 3rd, they were on sale at $59.97. I don't know if that's a permanent price drop or not, but at that price point, I felt like they were worth a look, considering all of the other Amazon brands are, hovering around that $50 to $60 price point as it stands. So, as it comes to most of my true wireless earbuds, I compare them against 5 categories: call quality, features, battery, fit, and sound, and I judge all of those things against the price that they're being charged. So, do these things live up to the promise? So let's take a look. So when it comes to call quality, let me be frank and say these things are garbage. When it comes to call quality, the microphone on these things are absolutely trash. You sound muffled. It sounds almost like you're underwater trying to have a conversation. And that to me is really disappointing, considering that these are designed in such a way that, the stem style earbuds are designed to bring that microphone closer to your mouth. So there really should be no reason that with this style of earbud that you should be struggling to get a decent microphone pickup. It just shouldn't happen, but yet it does. So, I was actually very let down by the sound quality on these things. Pardon me while I clean these things off. I was very disappointed by the sound quality as far as the call quality of it was concerned, because, it seemed as though with the way these things were built, the microphone should pick up much more than it does. As a matter of fact, take a listen for yourself. All right, this is the voice test for the Treblab X5. Once again, the voice test for the Treblab X5s. We're walking through my office. We're at about 15 feet. We're continuing to walk, checking out the voice quality for the Treblab X5. So now that we know that these things are absolutely garbage as far as being able to have a conversation, how do they live up in terms of features? Well, truthfully, they don't really claim much. These things have IPX4 ratings, so they are sweat resistant and light water resistant. They'll get you through a stint at the gym. You get your nice sweaty session in, and it won't necessarily be a problem. So the fact that they don't really claim to do much other than give you great sound really doesn't leave a lot to complain about. They do advertise these high-end Beryllium drivers. I've seen these come up on a couple of different earbuds. They also claim advanced noise isolation. Now let's be very clear with the noise isolation. This is passive, not active. They're not doing anything with the microphones to make the background noise go away. They also claim 12 hours of playtime. Now that was another spec for me that I was really, really disappointed by, but I will say that when it comes to battery life, these things under promise and over deliver. I've not had any issues with battery life on these whatsoever. What's really cool is that this little case right here gives you this indicator to let you know what the battery life is looking like, and it'll give you a blink, and you got to interpret the blinks almost like a Morse code. But As far as battery is concerned, I really believe the battery life is much higher than this. Now, the case I thought was a little interesting because it's a really compact case for a really good size, driver here. But so far, I haven't really had any issues as far as battery life is concerned. The way these things fit has really kind of been a non-issue because this ear hook is there. So these are a type of earbud that I could leave on for a long period of time. You know, I put these in at the gym. You know, I didn't find myself having to readjust and having to constantly, you know, push back in a little bit further or, you know, worry about these things shaking loose. This little ear tip or this little ear hook goes around the inside arch of your ear, and it really does a great job of holding these things in place. Which is, you know, really interesting because I fully expected that piece to be really uncomfortable and it just wasn't. Another thing that these things really surprised me with has been, you know, their connectivity. These things actually, of the earbuds that I've tested, have had among the best range. I tested these against the Maven Air X's, and the Maven Air X's really disappointed me as far as the range is concerned. They advertise 100 feet. These things don't advertise anything special, and they have Bluetooth 4.2 instead of Bluetooth 5.0. These things actually did a better job and got me further away from my devices without cutting out than my Maven Air X's did without having any of that sort of advertisement. I fully expected with it being Bluetooth 4.2 to be disappointed with the connection, but I wasn't. And that takes me to the next pillar being sound. The sound quality on these things is, in a word, great. I love the way these things sound. They are comparable in sound quality to my Maven Air X's, which I have to admit are my favorites in the way they sound. But if I were to grade it, right? If the Maven Air X's are here and this is the bar set for sound quality, then the Treblabs are about right here. Right? And considering the price difference, these are not one of those situations where because you spent a lot more money on another set of earbuds that, you know, you're getting half the sound quality in these. Sound quality was absolutely, obviously the focus on these particular earbuds. And as a result of that, these things have quickly become one of my favorites, if not my favorite set of true wireless earbuds, because really for me, I consider myself to be a pretty simple guy when it comes to true wireless earbuds and the conditions that I use them in, right? So I'll use them if I find myself in crowded scenarios. I'll use them on a plane. I'll use them at the gym. I'll use them around my office if I'm trying to drown out the extra conversations and focus on my work in hand. For those purposes, these things are great for that. They've got good battery life. They've got good fit. They've got, you know, excellent sound. I'm really, really happy with the sound. They don't really claim to do much as far as features are concerned. So that, you know, the IPX4 is perfectly fine for me. But all of that is brought forth further based on the fact that I only spent $64 on these, right? The other ones that I actually had in the running very strongly were these guys here, my Davida F8s. And as I've said many, many times, these things are cool because I only paid $46 for them and I don't have any issues out of them, right? Sound quality is not the best, fit's not the best, but for $46, I can't really complain. Well, I feel even more strongly about these because at $64, considering the sound quality, and along with sound quality, these bad boys get loud. The volume on these things, the bass response on them, the balance of mids and highs in addition to that bass response makes these a really great all-around true wireless earbud. Add that to the fact that these are one of the very few that actually have controls on the stem itself, volume and track. Now what I love about this piece is that unlike most true wireless earbuds that have either really finicky touch response or they have buttons that you have to push on the side, pushing it further into your ear canal, these things don't disturb you at all. Now, my only thing about these, if I were to give you a negative, is the fact that these things don't auto turn on when you take them out of the case. They don't. You have to hold both of these buttons down. So when you first take these out, you've got to hold, you know, this track forward button and your volume up button, hold them both down, and then you will hear them say connected, You know, the first time you hear connected is them connecting to each other. The second time you hear connected is connected to your device. I wish that these things were like all the other true wireless earbuds that I have, where as soon as you take them out, they automatically start the pairing process. So by the time you bring them to your ear, it's already in process. I wish that were there, but considering, you know, what you get for the money here, considering the fact that, you know, dropouts that happen pretty much with every single set of true wireless earbuds that I have, probably the Jabra Elite 65Ts being the sole exception. I've never had that happen. The dropouts are extremely rare, and it doesn't diminish my enjoyment of these earbuds as a whole. So quite frankly, these are my favorite ones. These are my favorite earbuds. I'm really happy with them for what they claim. The one thing that they don't live up to their claim, they talk about, you know, wireless calls. Do not try to use these for wireless calls. These things are absolutely trash for wireless calls. But if you're not that person, if you view sound quality as being paramount above all, if that is your most important aspect, the most important thing to you, and volume, because I've seen so many true wireless earbuds do not get loud enough to drown out the environment. I love the fact that the volume control on these is independent from the volume control over my phone. So I can get my volume control set on my phone, or I can leave it maxed out and I can just turn these guys down, or vice versa. I love to be able to have that extra flexibility. But, you know, all that to say, long story short, these guys have been a really, really pleasant surprise. And I really enjoy using these. I don't have any video latency, and I know some people complain about that. You know, I've watched videos on Netflix, on HBO Go, and YouTube, and I've not had any issues with latency that I can detect. You know, even with Bluetooth 4.2 and not having any aptX, I'm actually really, really happy with these, and these things get an absolutely glowing recommendation for me. I would tell you, if you are in the market for some true wireless earbuds and you're not looking to spend $100 or more on, you know, getting some of the big names, the Mavens, the Jabras, the Sennheisers, the Master Dynamics, the Bose, any of those, these are a nice diamond in the rough. Get these bad boys, try them out for yourself. I'm really, really happy. And like I said, these are my favorite true wireless earbuds at the moment. So that's where we stand. I love these guys. So if this was helpful to you, you know, please by all means leave me some feedback, give me some suggestions, some criticism. I welcome it, and I'll be down for a little bit answering comments. But please like and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. And you know, peace and love. I'll see you on the flip.